how these kind of events are more important than ever, because like bringing together people, that's where the true magic happens.
All right, Leon, pleasure to have you here at the Deal Lab this year. I would just start with the first question straight away and maybe ask you a bit about your role at Acton, because you're finance manager. Maybe that's not the typical associate or analyst position. Could you maybe give us an overview on what a finance manager does?
Yeah, that's indeed true. Like the title itself is not self-explanatory to the role I fulfill at Acton, I would say, because I mainly do portfolio management.
Mm-hmm.
Which covers like accompanying all of our portfolio companies, especially on the numbers side, which is the finance topic or finance side of my job. But like the other half of my time, I also look for new deals and accompany deal execution, especially on the due diligence side. And that is what makes my job essentially at Acton. So half of the time new deals and investment work, and half of the time portfolio work.
Okay.
And there especially, like we have 3 funds live still, around 30 portfolio companies. And we have a lot of numbers coming in on a monthly basis. We need to see or assess how each company is performing month over month and so on. Especially when it comes to certain shortfalls or whatever, we have to dig a little deeper into the companies and work more closely with them to solve issues. And of course the rest, especially the board work, then is mostly pursued either by one of the partners or by one of the investment team members.
Okay, so if I understood it right, maybe analysts or sourcing deals is also part of finance manager? Okay,
slightly. More of the execution. Actually, like I had the luck or the joy of accompanying our most recent deal. Which was a great pleasure, together with one of our partners. And the pure deal sourcing, I mean, it's also part of like conferences, like Idea Lab or other conferences, where we get to know new companies, new people, which might be interesting for us. And then the follow up is done by me.
Okay, perfect.
That's how I pursue deals.
And so fund management, that's not role of a finance manager?
Not yet. I mean, I'm only there for 1.5 years. I have to see how my role also evolves. We have a CFO who is in place, and he's very experienced. He has a lot of fund management experience because he joined Acton basically on day one. So he executed all of the 6 funds we had so far, and he's pretty experienced there. And I have to see where my role is also developing over the next years, so to say. But to be fair, I'm a little more interested into also the deal side and also the portfolio management side, because at the moment I'm the only one in the company having an overview of all portfolio companies.
Okay, that's perfect.
Because if you're only an investment manager or an associate, you have maybe 4 or 5 portfolio companies, which you accompany very closely, of course, from a board perspective. So very strategic, you're very deep into the topic because you also did the deal. But on a more high level, I have the entire overview of all 3 funds and the portfolio, and the only source of truth. So.
You're the only guy. Perfect. Okay, so now maybe a bit more about the deals you do, because you're Acton growth equity, not growth equity, growth capital or growth funds. And now there was a panel about AI, VC. Are there some interesting deals or interesting sectors where growth combined with AI like really are on the table for Acton or are interesting for Acton?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I mentioned it in the panel before. I think how did I become an AI expert today here? It is because like 99% of the deals we see today are AI related.
With AI,
and it's mostly applied AI, so we don't do foundational AI yet, but I don't think that it will evolve, because it is not fitting fund life cycles. It is like a little bit the comparison to pharma cases maybe, or like where you do like
really heavy investments,
really deep science,
also that
scientific research, and it's like 0-1. The case is either a pitfall or it goes through the roof, but the downside risk is too high for us. So we rather do applied AI cases, and what we have invested here in the last year is mainly B2B SaaS cases which have a certain applied AI component in its solution and solve a certain process or a certain pinch point of businesses, be it demand planning, sales forecasting, be it in legal tech. We had a company which we recently exited. It was a company from Belgium. They solved document planning, or not planning, document, not even document management, document creation for lawyers, so to say.
Yeah.
It was a Word plugin. It was exited after 18 months. We also
pretty fast.
Yeah, pretty fast.
Pretty
Very
fast.
uncommon for VC, but that also strengthens or undermines the current presence of AI.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because it was a strategic exit, and like strategists are looking a lot on those companies and really want to purchase this experience externally. But coming back to your question, most of the topics we see are AI related. The growth cases, especially, we do then always, most often, have a certain applied AI component in its solution and solve or streamline certain business processes within organizations.
Okay, perfect. And now maybe to VC more in general. So VC funding is not at the peak like in 21. Now it's more like less funding for funds. But now we've also talked about AI and how there's a huge opportunity. You also do so many deals with AI. Do you think that VC funding, so not for the companies, but for VCs, will grow because the LPs will see more opportunity with AI for returns?
I think it can definitely grow. If it will, I don't know, because for LPs, it is most often they are not the first time LP. They have already invested in the past in some funds. And what we have seen in the past years, and I don't want to move onto the ice here too far, but or slip on the ice, but funds which were raised 10 years, 8 years ago haven't seen too many exits in the past years. But they did the deals back in the days. And it's not too easy for funds to do exits at the moment, at least. It might change again if the business is not like the hot topic or not what buyers want at the moment. At the same time, doing an IPO, going public in Europe, we haven't seen too many IPOs here in these markets recently. So it's rather a difficult environment, which leads to the fact that LPs do not have that much liquidity, which they can put into new funds. Once this cycle starts again, that we see more exits, LPs are likely to put more money into funds which do investments in the AI space, and this fuels then innovation more quickly and leads to a further expansion of these areas, I think.
Yeah,
but it might take 1 or 2 more years.
Okay. And now, because our podcast will be for students, there are probably also many that want to break into VC, maybe even growth VC. What advice would you give them?
A key advice, I mean, we occasionally have interns, but like going into VC full time, the most people we hire had prior operational experience in the startups, at least recently. In the past, it was more consulting related. Also good. Don't want to make this bad, but at the moment, what we really like to see is if you have prior operational experience in startups, because then you know how the machine works.
Yeah.
And if you have seen the engine room, then you can better assess.
Yeah, you can assess the engine room.
Or
absolutely. Yeah. Okay, perfect. And now I would move on to the quick 3. So quick questions. You can answer, if you can, in 1 word or 1 sentence. And my first question would be, what is the most important KPI for growth investing?
Yeah, I mean, I would have said no, like very SaaS-related KPIs, but let's keep it with CAGR revenue growth.
Okay. And now, what is the most, or which person in VC inspired you the most?
Actually, for myself, it's one of our founding partners, Christoph Braun. He's very experienced. He did the first deal in 1999, and he's still active today. And I can learn a lot from him and his capabilities to assess new deals, and how quick he can assess new deals with how few information.
Yeah. And now the last question, what's your impression of this year's Idea Lab in one word?
Exciting.
Exciting. Perfect. Then, Leon, thank you for being here. And that's everything.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.